time to dip into some Warhammer Underworlds. So recently I picked up a box of Nethermaze, the ultimate competitive miniatures game. Bold claim, very bold claim. Now, I've been pondering how I wanted to do this, and you'll see why in just a moment. So the box obviously came to me shrink wrapped as usual. And during the unboxing, I discovered some things, and we'll go over this in just a second. But I gotta say, I love the cover art on this box. It looks amazing. I like the two teams. I like the Skaven, and I'm a big fan of Daughters of Cain. So, I like both of them. Now, obviously, you get, per the usual, the instructions, the manual, and you get the two boards because, Underworlds, this is, all common stuff. And the as you can see, there's a little bit of scuffing on that side, nothing too crazy. And then you get the Skaven team, and you get the Daughters team, the Shadow, oh my goodness, Shadeborn, the Shadeborn, right? So I noticed as I was digging through, there is a head. So the sprues and the box got kind of roughed up. It looks like it got shook around, damaged, and I took a moment here trying to figure out which model the head came from. Obviously, it's that one in the center there, the big one. And that's not too bad. Obviously I can glue a head back on. I did have to glue a couple of pieces on to fix the models, but they turned out okay. I can still see the seam on the head, but it's hidden by a bunch of stuff, so it's not too bad. And the rest of the stuff that got broken off, the arms and arms and weapons or whatnot, they're not so bad. So I just kind of moved on from that. And then, of course, you get a lovely set of dice, and you get the cards. Now, as you can see, the cards got kind of roughed up as well. I initially did not notice this as I was opening them and trying to... I was just originally going to put the cards back into the sleeve there. And as I was doing that, I was having kind of an issue because, my fingers don't work so well sometimes. And I realized, as I was doing that some of the cards got roughed up a bit to the point where several of the cards are bent and or ripped or whatnot, and you can see a little bit of it here all the way down. All the cards in that particular deck, that's the Universal Cards deck. The first half of them got kind of jacked up a little bit. Some of the other cards have some damage, and I'll do a couple of close-ups of that as well. But like I said, I pondered how I was going to do this because when I went back to the hobby store, they got with Games Workshop, and Games Workshop said all the damage was within acceptable levels. So Herrick Games and Hobbies was kind enough to give me a store credit to cover, any damages or whatnot, and I really appreciate that. So this is all push fit. The models are very simple to put together, very simple to clip. The plastic does feel kind of soft, and I think that's normal for Underworlds games. I haven't actually touched any of my Underworlds games since I got them, Shadespire and whatnot. But they're very simple to put together, it's a good break from something like Necromunda, where you have to put the neck on the body. You have to put the neck on the torso and whatnot. So you get all 4 card packs. You get the objectives pack. All the universal stuff. You get the universal cards deck, which is this guy, and this is the one that got damaged the heaviest, unfortunately. And then you get the Skittershanks Claw Pack Rivals deck. And finally, you also get the Shadeborn Rivals deck as well. Now, each of the fronts of these cards, unfortunately, have received some sort of damage. Although I must say, I like that artwork on the front there; it's amazing. So all of the top cards here have been kind of scraped up and damaged a little bit, but I mean, I can live with that. It's fine, I guess. The boards are amazing, and I love the artwork on these. When I saw the preview for Nethermaze, I was like, okay, I didn't get the first one from this set, and I you know, but when I saw this one, I had to have it because I like the two sets of models, and I love these boards, and I may actually use them for more than just Underworlds. I'm probably going to pull these out for D&D at some point for like an underwater encounter or something like that, just because of how nice they are. Now, this is kind of a close-up on the damage on the cards, and if you notice here, I'm just trying to angle everything around so you can see what happened, and the cards got really, really jacked up. At least these did. The universal cards got jacked up pretty heavily. But the if you look on the bottoms there, that's where most of the visible damage is at. But there's also damage on the top of the cards, and you can see if you just kind of look at the divots carved into these things, and there's a couple of them that ended up like this. But I mean, obviously, I mean, I'll live. You know, I'll just try and flatten them out, and or maybe color them in with a Sharpie or something like that to kind of clear up that the white edging or whatnot. As you can see, you know, there were a couple of cards that got seriously damaged. The most heavily damaged one actually isn't even the top one. Amazingly enough, it's this guy. And as you can see, the bottom of the card got kind of smushed in. But so I mean, I suppose it's neither here nor there. You know, Herrick didn't have any more copies of the game left. I checked the site, so you know, they were, like I said, they were kind enough to give me a store credit, even though, you know, it's not really their fault. I do appreciate the fact that they did that, but you can see that each of the card packs has some, you know, some modicum of damage, except for the objectives here. They're not so bad. So it's you know, it's like I said, it's nothing I can't live with. And of course, once again, I had forgotten that I already showed the dice, and I decided to show the dice again because I really like the dice. They're pleasant colors for me. I enjoy that color scheme. And also, there was this, which I have since found out it's just it looks like just paper fibers. So, you know, apparently I just got a set that had some extra love added to the box, I suppose you could say. But I went ahead and popped all that out. But as you can see, there is a little bit of damage here. It's nothing that can't be, you know, just skimmed over. It's not too bad on the tokens, at least. So going through the rule book, I'm not going to cover everything. I really like that cover art though. But I'm not going to cover everything here. I'm just going to kind of go through and give like an overview of everything. The rule book is laid out very nicely. It gives you some lore on, you know, Nethermaze itself, you know, a kind of a general overview of everything, and then you get some backstory on the actual, you know, what's going down, along with a little bit of lore, as you always get with the two different factions that are in the box. Now, usually when you get, you know, a box like this that has two factions, whether it's an Age of Sigmar or 40K or Underworlds, you get some kind of backstory there, and I appreciate that about these games. All right, and it has here all of the components listed out. And you know, everything was in the box at least, and that's a good thing. Now there are rules here for constructing your deck. You know, there's the action phase stuff. There is the all of the turns and sequencing, and you know, the artwork is really good. And also, this kind of stuff here, as I turn back, like the reaction tables and whatnot, are really useful, and I appreciate that kind of stuff too, because sometimes some of these games can get kind of complicated depending on what you're playing. You've got the multiplayer rules, you've got, you know, the action phases and round sequences and everything, and a glossary, which again is appreciated. And also the quick reference here on the back gives you all of the round sequences and the activation options and everything that you need while you're playing the game to pick it up and play pretty quickly. Again, that's another thing I appreciate about these games, is usually there's one of those on the back. Now, as you can see, I have put together the models, and I really enjoy all of them. I like the sculpts on these. So anyway, that was a quick unboxing and semi-review. If you like what you've seen, feel free to like and subscribe, not describe, good lord. And join me on Patreon and possibly on Instagram, Discord, all of that. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys.